Hello, everyone. Welcome to Shadow Space. This is my first podcast on my new podcast. How exciting is that? I can't tell you guys how amazing this feels to be able to finally launch this podcast. I've had this in the making for so many years, and it's been a dream of mine to be able to create this space and to create this podcast, and I'm finally here. So I am beyond grateful and so thrilled to be here to share Shadow Space with you all of my new listeners, my future listeners, and everybody who's tuning in right now. And for those of you who don't know me, I am your host, Laura. My friends refer to me as LB. Some people call me Coach LB. However, I do like to refer to myself as a guide. So I don't really have a preference, but you can call me whatever you want as long as you keep tuning back into my podcast, okay? All right. So the reason I wanted to create this space is it's very personal to me. I've been going through my own personal healing journey for so many years now. And there's so many fascinating things that I've discovered about myself through this process. And there's also some other things that I have, uncovered that I didn't know about myself before. And the reason why I call this podcast Shadow Space is because I think most of us really kind of feel stuck and struggle a lot in life in our most hidden parts of ourselves, in our innermost hidden parts of ourselves. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. But some people also refer to this as the shadow. And this is why I wanted to create this space, because I think this is where a lot of us get stuck. This is the part of us that we keep tucked away, that we never want to kind of touch or even talk about. And I think from my own personal experience and my healing journey, this is a huge area of opportunity, because a lot of the things that we're not so proud of about ourselves, the things that we keep hidden away or tucked away, gets kind of stored in our unconscious or our subconscious. And that is, to me, that's the area of opportunity where we can really make leaps and bounds in our growth, in our transformation journey, in our healing journey. This is where I've been able to see a huge impact in my life. And I wanted to really offer this space to others who are looking for maybe some guidance in that area as well. And with that being said, I do have a website also where I offer, coaching services for those of you who are interested. But with that being said, I really do encourage, anyone who's looking, to have some help or guidance in this area, or some support with somebody like me, to really make sure that you're in a place in your life where you're ready. Because for me, that was the big difference in my life. I was in a place where I was ready. I was open to the journey. I was open to the process. And so I think this is, something that, everybody should really kind of go within and really just make sure that you're checking in with yourself and making sure that you are willing and open to embark on this journey, because this journey is not going to be linear. It's not linear. It's not easy, but it's certainly the most rewarding journey and the most rewarding gift you can give yourself once you decide to embark on, discovering more of yourself. Once you decide to go on that, self-discovery journey, or healing journey, or, transformational journey, whatever you prefer to call it, and really uncover some of the depths and some of the hidden areas of yourself. So, I think the hidden parts of ourselves that we're not so proud of, as I said earlier, many refer to this as the shadow space, quote unquote, the darkness. This is where we can really discover the light. And for me, this was an area where I was able to really make a huge shift in my life. because it really offered me the opportunity, once I decided to dive within, it offered me the opportunity to understand so much about myself. So I came out of that with so much knowledge and depth and understanding of myself. And what that did for me was that not only it helped me kind of move forward in certain areas of my life where I felt really stuck, but it also offered me the opportunity to be, more of a, like, I was more open to hearing and listening and helping others who were kind of going through a similar journey. So whether it impacts you personally or not, you do come out of this process a better version of yourself, a more evolved version of yourself, a version of yourself where you can really help guide others along the way, because you begin to recognize some of those cues, and as you talk to people, you begin to hear some of the things that people say, and you can create, it can resonate with you as well, and it will resonate with you through your own personal journey. So that's what it did for me, and I really wanted to kind of create the space to offer people the opportunity to learn more about themselves if they're interested in doing that, and to really gain new perspective and insight about certain things that they may not be aware of about themselves. Because I think oftentimes when you think of the hidden parts that you keep tucked away, and these are the parts of us that sometimes we disconnect from or that we're ashamed of. These are parts of ourselves that we don't think anyone will ever accept us for. These are parts of ourselves that we don't even accept about ourselves. So it really takes a lot of courage, and it takes a lot of strength, and it takes a lot of compassion and grace to go through this process of diving within and really working, through the shadows. So I really wanted to be, have a space where people can come, tune into maybe some of the topics that we're talking about here, and find some grounding, and perhaps find a direction and some understanding, and feel like they can be heard, feel like they can be understood. Because the other thing that's really worth mentioning is that through the shadows, we always feel like we're alone. Like, we feel so disconnected. We feel like no one will ever understand what we're going through, because we feel so disconnected and alone and by ourselves. We don't feel like we can open up to others because we don't feel like anyone could ever relate. So Shadow Space is a podcast where I plan on publishing weekly podcasts and different topics related to that, related to the shadow, working through the shadow, working through the healing journey, working through your self-discovery journey, self-mastery, self-growth, self-development, self-empowerment, and I really am excited to be here. And I also do plan on collaborating with some great minds. I already have some really cool collaborations in the works with people who have been in this space, who can also share some insight and hopefully help you guys along your journey as you're listening to this podcast. So please continue to come back, tune in, share this podcast with those who may also need it. And, I really hope we can create this community where we don't have to feel alone and we don't have to feel lost, right, in the darkness. Because as the saying goes, light cannot exist without darkness, and darkness cannot exist without the light. And I do wholeheartedly believe that. And I think, like I said before, it takes a lot of courage to be willing to do this work for yourself. And it is also one of the best gifts you can give yourself. So I look forward to working with you guys. I look forward to being here, to being a guide or someone you can at least find comfort in, perhaps listening to, and maybe hopefully, also working with you all along your journey and being able to guide you. And with that being said, my website is shadowspacehealing.com. Please feel free to check that out. I do have some amazing resources on the website that can help you guys along your journey. If you're, just interested in having some tools in your toolbox, I like to refer to a toolbox, and I'll talk more about that later on another episode. But if you're interested in some tools that you can put into practice, I do have some amazing resources that I'm sharing on my website. And feel free to check out my website as well, and check out my social media. I am on Instagram as Shadow Space Healing. Feel free to check that out as well. And as I said earlier, please come back, tune into this podcast. I hope to really be able to give you guys some amazing and cool episodes that can help you guys along the way. And also do reach out. I'm really open to some ideas. If you guys have a topic that you would like for me to cover, I'm always open to that idea. So please reach out to me through my website or through social media. And I'll be able to hopefully connect with you guys there as well. Okay? All right. Well, with that being said, I thank you so much for listening to my podcast. And I hope you guys keep coming back. I hope you keep sharing this content with others who may need it. And I look forward to creating this awesome community where we can all come together and just, be here for each other, empower each other through our own journey. Okay? All right, guys. I'll see you guys on my next episode. And with that, have a blessed day, love and light, peace and blessings. And I will see you on my next one. Bye.